Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and 70 on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Tian Wei. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. An order from Master Ying. Our master wants us to retreat. Eh? But we haven't killed those two yet. Damn, I wanted to play a little longer. I want to join this fight too and go wild. It's been so damn long since the last, but Master Ying has issued a full retreat order. We can't disobey the orders. Very well. Xingshun, Guiji, if this is Master Ying's order, then naturally there are reasons for it, and we have already found the items we seek. The item we seek. There's no need for further dallying. Let's go. Stop right there, you bastards! Chen Hu began to stand unsteadily, his sword propping him up like a cane. I don't know how tough he is, but he just got blown up, fell from that high of a place, and still has the strength to taunt them. I worry about his condition, whether he is only forcing himself not to fall over. Tell me, who are you people? A curious one with so many questions. You would make a great scholar. For this I shall reveal to you a little more. We are the Acolytes, who shall awaken the Mother and reshape the world. And then, from somewhere on his waist, the middle figure pulled out another couple of black bomb pellets and used the same move as before. As he leaped back with the others, he flung those at me. My mind was filled with that explosion scene when he did the same movement previously, but that moment of hesitation slowed down my dodge, and the bombs blew up. With a whitening flash, the booming sound, the wind pressure, and the smoke pushed me back a couple of meters. Just as I lost my balance and was about to fall into the gaping maw of the inferno, a pair of large hands grabbed me tightly. Hold on tight, Tex. Don't let go. But your injuries, Chen Hu! This little wound ain't nothing. I grabbed onto him tightly, and he responded with calculated haste before stepping on the broken wall as a way to build momentum, then jumping out of the hole in the roof with me in his arms. This is all... Huh! The smoke is really choking. Absolutely horrible! We stood on the rooftop, looking down at the ocean of fire beneath. I turned and looked back at where the three black figures went. They disappeared, leaving this raging inferno behind. I then looked up at the sky, reflecting the scarlet light, where the heat wave twisted the very air, and thick smoke was climbing ever upwards, even passing through the clouds to shroud away the glow of the moon. A sense of sadness cascaded out of my heart. It's awfully similar to that night. You alright, Tex? I'm okay, just a minor injury on my forearm. I unconsciously covered the bloodstain on my arm, trying to not worry the guy, but he came over and grabbed my hand, before looking at my wound with an accusing eye and spoke. You call this a light wound? The wound's clearly ruptured. Well, like, you're one to talk. You fell from that height and you still say it's a minor injury. This doesn't look fine to me at all. I had a durable body since I was young. No problem. As we spoke, I looked with Chen Hu at the scene below, and found the flame growing smaller and smaller. I tried to look carefully and saw Baiyu commanding the escaped civilians to put out the flame with water buckets. Are your legs injured? Can you jump from here? Wait, from here? Now? Then he picked me up, like in the restaurant earlier today, making me panic a little. I really should get used to the unorthodox plans this Tiger employs all the time. Wait, I'm not ready! You are too heavy already. Carrying this bag makes you heavier. Didn't you already know that since after this afternoon? Which is why I said, hold on tight. If you drop out midair and land on your butt, don't blame me. Hey, what? Wah! Chen Hu held me in his arm and leapt from the third floor to the second floor eaves, before using the cushioned impact from the fall to jump onto the first floor eaves, and finally landed safely. I held him tight throughout it all, hoping to not drop out of his embrace during the fall. Oh, I thought that rhymed. After landing, Chen Hu let me back on the ground, and I noticed the prankster-like smile on his face. See? I told you to trust me. This prick definitely did it on purpose. Yep. As if he noticed our little escape, as soon as we landed, Baiyu ran over and gave us a bear hug. Thank the sages, you two are safe. Dying! Dying! I'm suffocating here! We're back, Baiyu. In the distance, the firefighting operation continued on, despite not having Baiyu to lead it. After the short reunion, I told Baiyu in details about what happened upstairs, and after listening, he began to contemplate. It seems like even Baiyu doesn't know who the strangers are. Awaken the world. If they said that, then there are two possibilities. Either they have a few screws loose off their heads and joined some cult, or the second, they actually have an aim for all this. Don't they feel embarrassed saying this kind of crap? Even I get goosebumps if I were to say those kinds of things out loud. Thou art the awakener of the world, obeying my master's wishes to take your life. He posed in all kinds of strange poses as he said those lines, looking both funny and weird. Seeing this, I couldn't help but smile. Huh, but that was exactly what they said. At least what is certain is that they have a mastermind behind all this, and they were able to successfully take something from the inn. These are all valuable evidence in the future, but let's leave it later. Right now, we have more important things to attend to. I've already organized people to bring some of the injured to the medical center nearby and done some simple treatment for their wounds beforehand, and there is no need to worry about that anymore. Then let us keep going and do what we do best. Even though there are many mysteries left behind for me in the back of my mind to think about, but right now, instead of finding the answer, the most important matter to attend to is the fire before us. And so, after a long night of rescue, the fire is finally put out. After the fire, the already unstable inn became completely uninhabitable. The only blessing to count was that the fire didn't spread any further. Those who were seriously injured were sent with haste to the nearest medical center, whereas I and the less injured were treated by Bayou through simplest treatments. After all these incidents, one after another, my strength is completely depleted. Second, y'all. Water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's jump back into it, shall we? Okay. I found a nearby tree, my limbs and nerves numb and soft, and planted myself on the ground, bottom first. I don't even care whether this is hygienic or not. My brain feels empty except for the need to rest. At least Bayou treated the wound immediately, or else under that kind of environment my wound would only fester and worsen. Thinking of this, I tried moving my arm a little, and I'm not sure if it was the medicine or not. I can't feel too much pain from it. I looked in the distance at the burnt building. My eyes and ears drooped at the sight. All the effort overnight was left with such an unsatisfactory result. We couldn't do too much, not with our limited abilities and resources on hand. So tiring. Why do I have to face so much trouble on my first day here? You alright, Tex? Thank you for doing so much over one night. Bayou and Chenhu leaned on one another and came over. Looks like they were exhausted, too, after the battle last night. It's nothing. I should be the one thanking you two. If you guys didn't block the strike that was meant for me, maybe I would have... Helping others is like removing obstacles on the road. There should be no reason behind it. Besides, you went through so much with us, and for that alone is enough for us to extend our aid. Ah, can we stop talking for a moment? I noticed Chenhu's tail slapping on the ground, seemingly impatient. I can't hold on. I feel like I'm starving to death. Food! Give me food! Sorry, no rations on me. Just hang on for the time being. Think of food later, and rest for a while. After all, everyone's tired. Chenhu and Bayou sat next to the tree as well, planning to snooze for a while. Right then, I saw a glow from the horizon at the corner of my eye, quite piercing after last night. I turned, squinting, looking at the glaring light. The sky became a palette of light pink and orange, replacing the darkness and scattered star tapestries of the night. Half the sky filled with the Milky Way and the moon's cold and gentle glare, while the other half lit up in a corner of daybreak, creating a scenery that made me forget the situation I was in. It's morning already. I was about to sleep for a bit. So beautiful. All the colors gathered in my eyes, shaping into an overwhelming image that I had never seen before, where a ring of light, braided in 7 different colors, began opening up across the sky. While the smoke blotted parts of it away, it could never cover the sight of the sunrise. You like watching sunrise? Watching a sunrise isn't easy to do usually, and seeing one is quite precious and hard to behold. This is especially special because since it's the first sunrise I've seen since setting foot in the Ji Kingdom. Especially after such an exhausting time, sunrise just seems much more beautiful. It may be the scenery we see every day, but at times it will be slightly different. Remember today's sunrise. Look forward to what the next would be like, and maybe one would have the courage to embrace everybody openly. The sunrise granted me a sense of emergency from within, and the rising temperature slightly alleviated my fatigue. My brain began running with my condition, returning to a semblance of normality, and as I recall the attack last night, I found some points of interest within it. Speaking of which, I heard about the missing cases that you mentioned previously, about those attackers from last night. Do you think they were behind it too? I did think of something similar at first, but now I'm certain that these 2 cases have completely different culprits, as the aim of the act is different for both. Or maybe this case is connected with the other cases. Hey, stop talking about work when resting. When Bayou ignored his complaints, as if he's used to it at this point. Judging from their equipment and operation style, I can tell they belong to some kind of organization, not matching to the styles of the cases that happened for the past few weeks. When you say so, I remembered something as well, about that they were following some master's orders? Ha! Master, what are they playing at? Some master-servant game? Then their boss must have some sick sense of humor. Chen Hu mocked with humor, but while Baiyu began to think, resting his chin on the hand. And their aim was to steal something. From the previous case's description, it doesn't fit at all, so it's very unlikely they are the culprits behind the missing cases. I did find some useful clues at the crime scene. Most of the clues were either burned or destroyed, so this is the only relatively unscathed one that I could find. Baiyu pulled out from his bag a burnt piece of fabric and handed it to me. I took the fabric piece and started examining it. I tried to interpret the words that weren't burned away on it. Most of the words here are burnt, so unclear that it's illegible. What's this? Their handwriting is even worse than mine. Some ghost's handwriting? Me and Chen Hu looked carefully at the content of the fragment. Even though it's only a tiny part of the corner left after the burning, this is still the most important clue we have, with its strange alphabet and symbols. A shape of a ring on it. Seems like it's a symbol related to them. And a bunch of strange alphabets around it. It really look like those ghost characters in scriptures. Maybe it's based on the same alphabet system. Hey, I say, don't you think this circle looks like a snake to you guys? Why do you say that? Look, this is his head right here. This is the tail over here. It looks just like a snake. Chen Hu began pointing and mimicking the symbol on the sheet. Ooh, you're right. Nice one, Chen Hu. Heh, see? I'm not as dumb as you think, Baiyu. It looks like I'm ahead of you this time. Not bad, Chen Hu. You pointed out something we both didn't realize. Ha! But look at this art. What kind of snake uses its head to bite its own tail? Uh-oh. I began to smile at Chen Hu. I could feel my negativity and frustration dissipating from my conversation with these two. But still, I turned my attention back on the patterns, because aside from the snake in the middle, the other interesting part are the strange written words around it. The symbols surrounding the snake must be the same language as the ones within the snake. Ah, I remember it now. I've seen something similar a long time ago. I quickly delved deeper in my mind of all the books and literature I've read through, and finally remembered something during my childhood, from one of Mom's collections of literature where I've seen similar language. I remembered asking Mom what it was before. What did she call it again? It's called... Ancient Scriptures. It's the Ancient Scriptures from the land of Janai. That is probably the product of the civilization before the Sages' union of the world, but the written texts here are quite different to the script seen in Janai, though. I seem to recall reading about it on a book, which mentions something of this tail-biting snake in its story. Tex, do you have any more leads or recollection? It's been many years since I thought about it. I don't think I can recall more for now. No problem. I will simply ask the others once I return to Tianhui Wei, and see whether they know something more about it. Even you two scholars can understand it? There's no way for us to, since the records on ancient scriptures are so little and so rare. Wait, ancient scriptures? Suddenly I recalled someone who could help me in solving this. If it's ancient languages, then Ming Jing, part of the Archaeological Institute, could help me with this. I just remembered a friend I met recently. Maybe he could help us interpret the language. I'll write him a letter later asking for his help. Is your friend someone from here? Yeah, but it's someone whom I met on the ferry while coming here. Then that's great. This will serve as a very important clue. I'll let you handle the part about asking a favor to resolve this. Then, at least we can put down this event for now. Excuse me, can I bother you for a moment? When the lady boss noticed us finishing our conversation, she took the opportunity to speak between our breaks. Ah, madame, is your wound no longer a problem? This kind young brother here has helped me to treat the injuries quite quickly. I feel much better already. I thank you greatly for the contributions you guys made last night. And my daughter Jiu Wao has something to say to you, so we can delay you guys up for a little longer. No problem. We were just resting anyway. Resting. Pretty sure we've been doing nothing but talking about work while resting. Chen-Hu. I don't even know whether these two's relationship is good or bad anymore. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'll give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silverman. Thank you above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks to our 3 gold tier patrons, Zeke, Toby, and Blue Wolf Alpha. Y'all are awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if you want to get your names and credits, get access to all of our Safe for Work contents as little as $5. If y'all want to donate to our Patreon, you can donate using Super Thanks on YouTube. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!